What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Listen, I don't really like how that's showing up, but whatever. I need my glasses, y'all. So, anyway, how y'all doing today? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Listen, y'all, we are back for I think we on day 8. I believe, no, we're on day 7. We are on day 7 of the dynamic laws of prosperity, y'all. And I am so sorry we missed Saturday and Sunday, y'all. I got caught up in some other things and I apologize. I was not here. I think I decided that we just gonna do Monday through Friday. So I'm gonna try to stick with this Monday through Friday, y'all. Okay. This going live at 2 o'clock is new for me, y'all. So forgive me, please. But we are back for day 7 of the dynamic laws of prosperity. Welcome everybody in. My name is Jamila Moore. I am a women's manifestation and mindset coach. I help women to shift their identities by transforming their internal lives so that they can manifest the external wealth and abundance that they desire in their lives. Okay, and so we have been going over the dynamic laws of prosperity by Catherine Ponder. It is a book that is helping us to shift our words to speak in the language that we want to manifest. Okay, speak in a way that brings wealth, abundance, and prosperity into our lives, because the most powerful thing that we have, the most powerful thing that we can do for ourselves, for our lives, is to transform our words in order to transform our lives. Okay. And so we are on day 7. We have gone through chapter 1, and I believe we are at the end of chapter 2. And today we are going to be talking about, my bad, y'all, being deliberate about wealth. Okay. And on Friday, when we left off, we were talking about being, what were we talking about, y'all? We were talking about the law of attraction, pretty much. It was radiate and you will attract. Okay, so if you missed that one, definitely go ahead and you'll have to catch up on the YouTube channel. I did, y'all, add my YouTube link to the link in my profile. So if you want to go ahead when we get off of here or whenever you have some time and catch up on these replays, we are on day 7. Day 1 and 2 are live. Day 3 will be posted tomorrow. Day 3 got deleted out my phone, so I have to re-download that, and I just haven't had an opportunity to do that. So I'll go ahead and do that today. Day 3 will be on there tomorrow, and day 4 I'll post day 3 and 4, and we're on day 7. So by the end of this week, that every day up until day 7 will be on my YouTube channel. Okay. So day 7, we are jumping into being deliberate about wealth. Okay. And that is where we're going to start off. Okay. And like I said, day 6 was about radiating and attracting. Okay. Which was pretty much the law of attraction. Now, if you're not familiar with this book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, it is a book written by Miss Catherine Ponder, and it was written during the 1960s. Catherine Ponder she had a ministry where she basically went around the country teaching men and women classes on how to use your words to transform your life. Okay. And it's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. We kind of went over the title of the book on day 1 and why it's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity. And basically, a law is just like the law of gravity, just like the laws of the universe, the law of prosperity, the laws of our words is a law. And we can use these laws to literally do the simplest thing, which is change our words to transform our life. Okay. And as we move through the book, you'll see they talk about different stories of people that use these laws to completely do a 180 and transform their life. Okay. So anyway, let's jump right into day 7. Day 7 is going to be really short, okay? I think it's like 3 pages. And tomorrow we'll jump into chapter 3. I didn't want to go too far. I want to talk about we're talking about being deliberate about wealth and being magnetic, and also releasing your pent up substance. Listen, the one thing that we don't do very well, okay, is the release part. We talk about attracting, we talk about doing all of this work where we're doing high vibe and all of this stuff. But a big part of manifestation, and that's what I talk a lot about and teach a lot about, is releasing and letting go of those things that no longer serve us. Because as long as we hold on to the things that no longer serve us, as long as we hold on to the limiting beliefs, as long as we hold on to all of the limitations, all of the things that we haven't healed, right? We cannot be able to receive without first releasing, okay? And so I want you to definitely stick around for that, okay? So, being deliberate about wealth, it says you've got to radiate deliberately in order to attract the good you desire. Otherwise, you get into a limited trend of thought and produce limited results. What you do radiate or deliberately entertain mentally, you constantly attract. Remember, we talked about that, the law of attraction. Whatever you deliberately entertain mentally, you constantly attract. So if you are constantly and deliberately entertaining bad thoughts, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of lack, thoughts of I don't have enough, all of these lack filled and low vibe thoughts, that is what we constantly attract. So our thoughts have to be with intention in order for us to attract with intention. Okay, it says it may not appear that this law works in the exact way when you look at people who seem to be succeeding, who apparently do not deserve it, but in due season their health, wealth, and happiness crumble if they are not supported by a firm foundation of right thought and feeling. So look, if you've ever watched any of those lottery shows, right? What is it called? Like the lottery shoot. Yeah, I can't even think about it. The lottery ruined my life or something like that. Um, you've heard of the people that win these big lotteries, right? Millions of dollars, and then within a couple of years they're broke. And why is that? That is because they are not they have not set themselves up to actually believe that they even deserve to have this wealth, right? Their thoughts, their actions, their vibe doesn't jive with this money. So they have not set their subconscious mind up to understand that this money is safe, right? It's safe for me to have this money. And so what they do is their subconscious mind thinks of all of the ways that they can quickly get rid of this money because the money isn't safe. It's not safe for them to have it. It's not right for them to have it. They don't believe they deserve it. So they spend it on all kinds of crazy things. And so that's what it's saying right there. It says, if you look at people that seem to be succeeding, who apparently do not deserve it, but sometime in due season, their health, wealth, and happiness crumble if they are not supported by a firm foundation of right thought and feeling. So if you don't believe you deserve it, even if you come into a windfall, if your mind, your thoughts, and your vibration does not jive with what you have, you're going to lose it. Even if you somehow self-sabotage it, somehow subconsciously, you are going to lose those things if you are not supported by a firm foundation of believing that you can have it and believing that you're deserving of it. Okay. It says it is just a matter of the mills of the gods grinding slowly. Instead of fretting about whether the law of radiation and attracting is about, excuse me, instead of fretting about whether the law of attraction and radiation is working rightly in the lives of others, instead of being in other people's business, is what that said, proceed quietly to prove the laws of prosperous thinking for yourself. Like, don't worry about whether or not this is working in someone else's life or how it's working in someone else's life. It says, Proceed quietly with thinking about these laws working for you yourself. It says a stockbroker whose business associates were watching the market reports and declaring how slow things were slipped into a private office and quietly relaxed. As he did so, he began to radiate this thought: everything and everybody prospers me now. Now listen, if y'all new here, if y'all have not been in these first couple of chapters, this book again was written in the 1960s. So some of these are not going to sound how we speak now. But you'll understand that they pretty much are saying the same things. If you resonate with some of these but need to tweak them a little bit, that's okay, because again, this is some old language. But it says everything and everybody prospers me now, meaning everything and everybody that I come in contact with is bringing me good and prosperity now. And if you didn't hear me say it before, when we say our affirmations and things like that, we always speak in the now, because our subconscious mind has no sense of the future or the past. It only speaks in the now, what's happening right now. So we always want to confirm and affirm the word now. Everything and everybody prospers me now. It says, suddenly the telephone began to ring and ring, and within a short time, he had received more business by telephone than he had received through any channel in several days. Listen, it says the other associates were watching the markets and declaring how slow things were, right? They sitting up here like, look, this is going too slow, and they worrying about the wrong things. And this man went into an office and he said, listen, everything and everybody prospers me now. Everything that I come in contact with is making me money now. Money is showing up in my account right now from everything and everybody that I am coming in contact with. And what does it say? The phone started ringing, and within a short time, he had received more business by telephone than he had received through any channel in several days. It says a watch repairman's business was slow, and as he boarded an early morning bus, he too remembered the prosperity law of radiation and attraction and began to silently declare, everything and everybody prospers me now. And for the next few days, he had many new customers coming to his store to have watches and jewelry repaired. And soon he had received enough repair work to keep him busy for many weeks. And listen, this line right here has what? 6 words in it. Everything and everybody prospers me now. There was an and in there. Yeah, it was 6. Everything and everybody prospers me now. Write that down. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to stop reading for a minute because we're going into our next little topic here of you are magnetic. And I'm going to give y'all my first point. So I want you to write that down. Everything and everybody prospers me now. And I think I did a class, was it last year or the year before, on the Millionaire Mindset Masterclass. I think I incorporated a couple of these um, from this thing. I have to find a notebook, y'all. I got so many notebooks around here, but when I actually read this book for myself, there were so many things that I wrote down and highlighted in here that I used for myself to say over and over again, because the language of prosperity, listen, did I do that today? I think maybe I just edited today. I don't know. But I put a video out. Either I posted it or I just edited it, and I will be posting it in the next couple of days. But pretty much, I talked about the simplest thing that we can do. The simplest thing that we can do is shift our words. When we speak with intention, our words can literally shift our life. Our words, what does the Bible say? Life and death are in the power, the life and death are in the power of the tongue, right? The law of attraction, the law of prosperity, whatever you want to call it, says that our words are powerful. Our words can be used like magic, right? Our words are commands that we send out into the universe. And as long as we have an expectation, and even whether or not we have the expectation, our words are prophecies we send out into the universe and they come back to us in some way. Have you ever said something out loud or had a thought about, a situation, right? And then after that situation happens, you say, you know what? I knew that was going to happen. Why did it happen the way you knew it was going to happen? Because you put that thought, you put that prophecy out there, and it came back to you exactly how you expected it, right? Now, everything, right, isn't that magical all the time. But when we have an intentional thought, when we have an intentional um speech that we put out, that thing comes back to us. So when we do something as simple as shift our words to be intentionally what we want to speak, we can't just say anything. Like you shouldn't just go around saying, "Oh, I'm just so dumb. I'm just so stupid. I always mess things up." Because then what you're going to see is your subconscious is going to say, "Oh, well, you just like messing things up. So we're going to make this happen because you've sent out the prophecy and you've sent out the command that this is what I want to see in my life." When we stop sending the wrong commands out, we'll stop seeing the wrong things manifest back into our life. Okay. So, our words is the very simplest thing we can begin to shift with intention that can literally shift and change our life. Okay. So listen, y'all. Point number one, before we get into the magnetic, and listen, if y'all just joining me, thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and tap the screen. Maybe share this out, invite some people in, because listen, I know I'm talking good, and I know there's some other people that need to hear this. Okay, day 7. My first point right here, it says be intentional about focusing on believing and creating an energy of wealth and abundance around you. Repeat affirmations, declarations, scriptures that affirm your thoughts about radiating wealth in your life. Listen, create things that you repeat to yourself, just like everything and everybody prospers me now. Everything I touch is successful. Every call I make is a success. Every person I speak to has the power to bless me. Every dollar that I spend comes back to me multiplied. Every person that I pass on the street has the power to bless me. Every thought that I think has the power to bless me. Listen, begin to speak intentional language over your life, right? If it's 5 minutes in the mirror, I did a video about mirror affirmation. Sometimes we got to look at ourselves in the mirror and tell us who we are because sometimes we forget, right? And so when we can just spend a few minutes being intentional with our language, especially in the beginning of our day, we can shift and change our day for that entire day. We can change the trajectory of how our day is going to go. If you've ever gotten up and said, you know what, I got up on the wrong side of the bed, today is just going to be a bad day, right? And if you think about it, did that day go good or bad, right? A lot of times it wasn't bad because you declared that in the beginning of the day. If you can do that very opposite thing and get up and declare you're going to have a beautiful day and declare that everything you touch is going to be a success and declare that every person you speak with is going to have the power to bless you and declare that everything that you do that day is going to be profitable, right? When you can get up and declare certain things, you can shift your thought patterns. You can shift how you operate in your day. Just speaking differently over your day in the beginning will get in your mind the thought process of today is going to be an amazing day, and then your actions are going you're going to show up differently, right? Your thoughts are going to be different. Everything that day is going to go a little bit differently. So when we get up with intention and begin to say, you know what, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to make some money today. Some things are going to happen. My business is going to shift and change today. When you begin to speak those things over your life every single day, you will begin to see the thoughts that you think change. You will begin to see the actions that you think, the actions that you take change. You will begin to literally see people treat you differently. Listen, watch what I say. Anyway, y'all, I don't want to get too far off. Let's go back to the thought of the day. It says, what you radiate, you will attract. So be intentional with radiating and focusing on abundance instead of lack. Okay? Everything and everybody prospers me now. If you have not written that down, go ahead and write that down. Everything and everybody prospers me now. Okay. Now, the second, our next little, what's the one? What am I calling this? Our next little section. Our next little section here. You are magnetic. It says each of us is a magnet. And as a magnet, you do not have to force success and prosperity to yourself. Wait a minute. Let's run that back. As a magnet, what does a magnet do? A magnet attracts, right? It says, as a magnet, you do not have to force success and prosperity to yourself. Instead, you can develop that exalted, expectant, prosperous state of mind that is a magnet for all things good of the universe to hasten you rather than entertaining the tense, critical, anxious, depressed, unforgiving, possessive state of mind that is a magnet for all kinds of trouble and failure. At the beginning of the book, the very first page or two, Miss Ponder said, I began to think, what did she say? I'm going to go back here. She said, I began, hold on, never mind, because I don't want to, maybe it wasn't right at the beginning. But basically, she says, I learned that my failures was basically it's right here at the beginning. Y'all found it. It said, I came to realize that failure is basically the result of failure thinking, right? So if we think thoughts of prosperity instead of failure, think thoughts that develop, it says you can develop that exalted, expectant, prosperous state of mind that is a magnet for all things good instead of the critical, anxious, depressed, unforgiving, possessive state of mind that is a magnet for all things failure and trouble. We got to shift our mind in order to shift our life. It all starts up here, y'all. It all starts up here. It says, since you can, listen to this, you can have the tangible and intangible equivalent of whatever you dare to choose. Mentally entertain and radiate. Stop thinking of things as apart from or outside of yourself. Stop thinking that people, things, circumstances, and conditions have the power to hurt or harm you. Start realizing that nothing can stand between you and that good that you dare to choose mentally and radiate outwardly through your thoughts, feelings, words, and expectancies. Listen, we have the power to choose, right? When we think we don't have that power, we give up the power. That's the whole, that's what they say. That's the damn, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? That's the gag, right? The gag is when you think you don't have the power, you already giving it up. But it says you can have the tangible and intangible equivalent of whatever you dare to choose. It is a choice. I tell y'all all the time, we make a decision. Everything starts with your decision. If you want to be wealthy, guess what you do? You decide, not do side, y'all, not do side. You decide that you are going to be wealthy. When you are going to be healthy, you decide that you are going to be healthy. And here's the thing, when you make a decision, all of your words, thoughts, and actions must be aligned with that decision in order for you to see the outcome that you desire, right? So if I decide to be wealthy, I can't just sit my ass on the couch, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all don't know me like that yet. But I can't just sit on the couch and do nothing, because if I sit on the couch and do nothing, that's not going to bring me wealth. Now, if I sit on the couch with my phone, my laptop, and all of the things that I need in order to do what I need to do to create my wealth, that's different. but there's actions that we need to take. Before the actions, there's thoughts, right? I can't sit up here and think that everything I do is going to be a failure, because that's not going to lead me to my success. So I got to get my thoughts aligned with the outcome that I desire. If I desire to be wealthy, my thoughts have to be those of wealth. My thoughts have to be those of prosperity. My thoughts have to be those of, I can do this. All I have to do is decide that I want to do it. I can make this business a success. All I have to do is decide that I want it to be successful, and then create a plan to make it successful, and then get up and execute my plan every single day. See, my thoughts and my actions have to be aligned with my desired outcome, right? Same with, if I want to be healthy, my thoughts have to be those of, this is what I need to eat. This is how much weight I want to lose. This is what health looks like for me. And then everything that I do has to align with those thoughts to get to that desired outcome. But the reality is, it all starts with a decision and then alignment with your thoughts, actions, and words, right? To get in alignment with that decision. Okay? It says, because, I'm going to read this again, you can have the tangible and intangible equivalent of whatever it is you dare to choose. I need you to write that down. You can have the tangible and intangible equivalent of whatever you dare to choose. Somebody write that in the chat, because I need everybody that comes in to see that. You can have the tangible and intangible equivalent of whatever it is you dare to choose. The gag is, the problem becomes when we believe we cannot. That's what messes us up. Okay. It says choose and radiate mentally, choose and radiate emotionally, choose and radiate constantly and persistently to attract your own good and good for others. Right? Yeah, if y'all miss, you have to give in order to receive. Listen, sometimes you got to give a prayer. Sometimes you got to pray for good for somebody else, and then somebody else somewhere else that you don't even know about is going, that prayer is going to come back to you. Everything that you reap, everything that you sow, you will reap, regardless of whether you know it or not. The universe is a cycle of sowing and reaping, right? So whatever we sow will come back to us. Okay. It says, um choose and radiate mentally, emotionally, constantly, persistently to attract your own good and good for others. All right. A woman once told me that since she had been deliberately invoking the power of prosperous thinking, everyone in her family had received wonderful blessings. Her husband received several raises in pay. Her brother became the president of his company. Two sisters retired with handsome incomes. Another sister became the first woman ever to hold a certain type of executive position for her company. Another brother received a managerial position. A little leaven actually leavened the whole loaf in that family. So listen, the woman said that she had been deliberately invoking the power of prosperous thinking, not just for herself, but for those around her. Okay, y'all. One of my favorite rappers is Jay-Z, and Jay-Z, what he say? Dang, I had the lyric in my head just now. It says something about, my wealth is determined by others around me, something like that. Everybody around me. I want everybody around me to win, right? It's not just about me winning. It's about everybody around me winning. That's what makes me wealthy and prosperous, right? When I can invoke that power to help everyone around me. Okay, the next little section here, before I go to the next section, hold on, I got a point right here. Point number 2, it says, you are a magnet. You are always attracting. Let me say that again. You are always attracting, whether good or bad, you are always attracting. So we got to remember that. I did a video about that this morning too. I think that was in the same video. And I said, we are always manifesting, whether intentionally or unintentionally, whether consciously or subconsciously, we cannot help but to manifest, which is just simply attracting something, right? We cannot help but attract whatever it is, whether good or bad. We cannot help but attract. We attract what we are. We attract what we are radiating to the universe that we want to receive. What did I just say about our words? Our words are like prophecies that we send out with an expectation that something is going to come back, right? The same is what our radiation. What are we radiating? Are we constantly just upset? Are we constantly just thinking negative thoughts? What is it that we're radiating? Are we radiating positive light, love, abundance, wealth? What is it that you are radiating? What is it that you are focusing on? What is it that you are setting your intentional energy to radiate every single day? Are you getting up saying, I'm going to have an amazing day? Are you getting up saying, oh my God, today is Monday. I hate today. I radiate every single day? Are you getting up saying, I'm going to have an amazing day? Are you getting up saying, oh my God, today is Monday. I hate today. I'll